I had forgotten what poison ivy looked like because of retrograde amnesia. My last camping trip turned into a medical nightmare. I'm non-celiac gluten sensitive, and I decided to go camping to get off of the gluten. It's hard to get into stuff if you're miles and miles away from the tasty nummies and you don't take them with. So I went to the Blackwell Horse Camp in Indiana, parked along the shady tree line, all up next to in the poison ivy. You see, I thought poison ivy would grow like an ivy plant, and I thought it would be a lot smaller than it was. No. So this means last year I got into poison ivy, but not so much. And I thought it was the chiggers that were chewing me up because I'm a chigger magnet. So 4 days in, I'm like, good grief, why won't the bug spray work? I can only laugh now. So I started using the, I swear by Wonderside lemongrass spray for my dogs and my cat. So I decide I'm going to start use that because, well, it seemed to keep the ticks off better than the stuff I was using on myself. And no ticks, and I was sick of the bugs, and I decided, well, bugs don't like Dawn dish soap, and Dawn dish soap kills bugs, so I used Dawn dish soap for body wash. After I used the Dawn body wash, you know, those gnats would not land on me for a day and a half. That alone made it worth it. On my first urgent care visit, they asked if I thought to use Dawn body wash, and I said, well, yeah, because I was sick of the bugs, and, you know, the gnats wouldn't touch me, and that was a good side effect. And since they, you know, wash waterfowl with it, I thought it would be okay for me, although I'm not sure how healthy it is to use a dish soap for a body wash. So, anywho, back to the woods. So 95-degree temperatures, tent camping, playing in the poison ivy, not knowing what it was, just miserable. But you know, I'm still gluten-free because every time I look at a bread roll or something I go to do it, I think about this misery and why would I do this to myself again? So I come out of the woods and get back to Kentucky here, and I pick up lavender Castile soap because I swear by the Dr. Bronner's, and I pick up some zinc oxide powder to put on myself, you know, to try to help with the itching. And I'm doing everything I know to throw at this stuff to try to feel better. So then I come over here to Lake Jericho, and we're sitting here at this picnic, and my cat is laying all up in the foliage, and I'm sitting here thinking, this plant should mean something to me. My cat was sleeping right in there. So I'm sitting at the picnic table. My dogs are drying from swimming. And I think about this one lady that I know in Illinois that's an archery instructor. And it dawns on me that looks similar to something she showed me. But this plant is a little bit sawtooth, and the one she showed me was more of a smooth edge, if that makes sense. And up at the horse camp, the stuff was growing really densely, and you couldn't like notice a 3-leaf pattern. It just looked like ground cover. So I go from Lake Jericho here over to the Pilot Travel Center to hop a shower, and I examine myself, and I'm head to toe. Like, it's in my nose, it's in my eyes, like, I'll just say everywhere to keep it clean. And I was trying to retrace, like, what could have happened. And then it dawns on me. I'm not sure how many times I dropped my towel. I have a hula hoop that like you hang shower curtains off of, and it's my homemade little portable shower, and I was throwing it over the railing and it was dangling down into the poison ivy. My animals were laying in it, tracking it everywhere. That's how I got it everywhere. It was the bath towel. And it turns out these little culprits are not affected by poison ivy, but they track it everywhere because it sticks to their fur. So they were, thankfully I had a tent set up and they weren't in and out of my truck build setup too much. But I still have to deal with the tent, washing that, and it got on their service dog packs. So I'm contemplating how to go about this without another exposure. I was so miserable that Monday I decided to go into urgent care. And I was embarrassed to tell them that I forgot what it looked like. Oh, there's my buddy. I love that guy. I am just obsessed with the great blue heron. I sit here sometimes for hours with my binoculars watching these guys. So anyway, what was I saying? I go to urgent care. I put all the products on the counter that I'm using. I had visited family in Illinois earlier this month and was in the emergency room. I got the vertigo, and boy, that was an interesting trip and a half. So I wouldn't wish that on anyone. It was horrible. So I put the generic Antivert bottle on the counter, and I had my ER papers with me, and I'm glad I had brought all that with so that they could document it correctly into my medical records. So they give me a prednisone shot. I had never had a prednisone shot. Boy, that hurt. They said it would like do all these different. They tried to describe the pain, but it was just like this deep muscle knot. It's some kind of like thick stuff that like they put in you, and I could hear the air bubbles popping in the syringe as it went into me. It was pretty gross. So then they give me a script for prednisone tablets, like a taper down type of situation. Start with 3 twice a day, do that 2 days, then go down to 2 twice a day, etc., etc. So when they gave me that shot in the bum, where I was truck camping, strategically was about a half mile away, and I tell you, I almost turned around and went right back to the emergency room. I felt so horrible from that shot. And I had let them know that in the past for different injuries, they've used a prednisone dose pack, and that worked okay. But when I had fractured my spine and they gave me prednisone white tablets in a bottle, I didn't do so well on those. And the lady said, I had a different nurse practitioner than my doctor that day, and she said, well, these are lower dose than what that would have been, and etc., etc. So, oh no is what I say. My heart started to race. I got epilepsy from a head trauma 12 years ago, and I started having seizures again. I couldn't eat. I wasn't sleeping. Like 4:30 in the morning, I was finally going to sleep, and then bam, up again because the sun hits the truck warms up. You can't sleep when it's hot. Got dogs panting, rocking the truck, worried about like making sure they're safe. It just was not conducive to needing to convalesce. And so yesterday I went back to urgent care. I called twice and decided if they didn't call me back within an hour, I was just going to go back in. And I'm really glad I did. I was starting to have a psychotic break. My blood pressure averages 110, sometimes close to 120, but right around that 110 over like 70 number. Dude, it was 153 over 90. I couldn't quit shaking. I was roid raging. It was just a really bad situation. And my doctor was working the urgent care, and I was much grateful for that. So we regrouped because of medication sensitivities, allergies, and Prilosec AC or whatever that stuff is. It has antihistamine properties. She asked if I can have it. I said, I don't know. I've never taken it. That when I have heartburn, I use apple cider vinegar, and I swear by Chiodophilus probiotics, and that's how I naturally treat my heartburn. So I take a dose of that stuff last night. Oh man, I'm still so messed up from the doxycycline from the ticks and the tick a couple months ago. And that stuff, it did clearly some kind of candida bloom, and like every time I use the bathroom now, it's like I recreate Auschwitz. I don't know how to describe the smell, like a gag a maggot. So now I need to call. I don't want to go back to urgent care 3 times in a week. So I figure I'll just call in and let them know that, you know, I'm not allergic, but clearly my body doesn't like this stuff. So the Zyrtec makes me feel like I've had a frontal lobotomy, and they told me it would help me sleep to take it at night with Anavert, but it made me stay awake. Like, I really feel like I can't win for losing. But, you know, the rash is toning down. Like, my happy is starting to come back. I'm feeling better from being off of the gluten. The gluten was affecting and making the vertigo worse. So just all around, you know, it's just been kind of a rough couple of months, but this is definitely one of my happy places. And since it's under construction, they have free day use right now, but bring your own toilet paper for the bathroom. Oops, sorry. So I guess if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I don't usually get too personal on here or social media platforms, but if my situation and this comical, oh my word, kind of bless your heart sort of story could prevent somebody from going through the misery that I'm currently working through, it was definitely worth it. And for those of you that are concerned, because sometimes I get emails and messages about how do you stay safe, and how do you do this, and how do you do that, and it's all good. Put your questions, comments. I'm technologically challenged, so it takes me a while to respond. Because of the head trauma in 2014, with technology in different situations, sometimes every time I do something, it's like the first time all over again. And I know what kind of whippersnapper I was before the accident because I kept extensive journals. I definitely don't have that. I might still have a good IQ number, but I don't have the executive functioning that I used to have. So y'all have a wonderful and blessed day, and thanks for listening to my story and my rambles. And I'm looking forward to it's on my bucket list for a few decades now to go up the coast and camp, and I really want to see the changing leaves in Maine. I've seen it in different areas of the country, and I just can't imagine what it's like up there. So that's next on the list. So I'll see you soon. Bye.